I had this really nice weekend this last weekend. It was this first weekend where it was sunny and clear skies and 70 degrees, and I went on a walk and took a lot of footage and sat at Square du Vent Galant. I wanted to sit at my spot in the sun, but it wasn't happening, and the water was sparkling, and it was just like breathing for the first time in a long time. I know I've said that before, but it was so nice. It's been so beautiful to see spring, despite that today's April 1st when I'm editing and uploading this, and it's snowing outside now. But it's a little recap of my weekend. It was so nice to, it's kind of metaphorical. The Parisians, they seem to really hide in the wintertime, and then when it's sunny, they all come out of nowhere and everyone congregates and you feel this burst of life. And it's something, you know, not happening this weekend because it's back to cold weather, but it's something I'm really looking forward to having again. Something I haven't felt in quite a while. A lot of my winter has been spent in isolation alone, and now in this vlog this upcoming week, so many different things are finally happening, and I wanted to believe that maybe by spring things would start to turn around, and it seems things are starting to turn around a little bit, little by little. And yeah, oh my gosh, this day in Place Vosges was so gorgeous and sunny, and and I know I keep saying this, but the longer and longer I stay, the more and more I just feel at home and so comfortable and settled. And now with the things you're going to hear at the end of this vlog, life is getting interesting. Things, you know, life seems to be turning around now. Life is turning around, and it's there's so many different paths to take, and I don't know which one to take right now, and I'm frustrated because I just want this boring life of living in Paris, making my ends meet, and, you know, like, sounds weird, but I'm good with that. Like, you know, I was talking with this American girl, she's my new friend, and we were talking about how we don't want kids and how we want to spend our money on ourselves, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many people yet that I've yet to meet that are just like me and want so many of the same things. And I just can't wait to be settled so that I can meet more of those people, because I know that they exist. I mean, human connection is really what we're all after, unfortunately, which is really hard because you can't rely on other humans. Humans are not supposed to rely on each other. But one time someone said to me, Paris, that's your starting point. And yeah, Paris is definitely my starting point. It's the catalyst that I need and have always needed to get on to all the other things that I want, need, or get to where I'm going. I can hear EU alarms in the background as I record this voiceover and edit it, and looking over this footage just reminds me of all the reasons why I did it. The sun. Sometimes you just want a big fat bowl of pasta. Well, I made a sweet potato pasta bake with zucchini, red pepper, and this sweet potato, coconut milk, tahini, lemon, paprika, herb de Provence, garlic, very complicated sauce that I blended up, and now I'm gonna watch the Hannah Montana episode where she reveals her identity to the world. Okay, yeah, we're gonna watch this and eat. I'm hungry. Took me an hour to make it. About to eat dinner and watch Good Trouble, but I have had quite the afternoon. Okay, so it's been gross since yesterday and today. It's raining. We're back to the rain and the gloominess, which is not great for the depression, but
Came home, packed my lunch for tomorrow, my clothes are laid out, did some copywriting, did some stuff for my social media video internship thing, and then I had an interview, which I think I told you guys. So I applied to this job like a week and a half ago. That said on LinkedIn it was part-time, but I thought it was full-time when I applied. I still wanted the interview. They liked me, and then they came back to me and said, okay, we're open to being part-time until June and then full-time. And then I had another second interview today with the co-founder, telling him like, I want to be very clear, I'm an American, I'm here on a student visa, like I need help to change my visa status, blah blah blah. Is this something that we can do? And he's like, I think it should be no problem, let's talk to HR. They seem to love me, and I think I really gave my all in this interview. I think it really was very conspicuous. I tried to bleed my vivaciousness through the camera, and I really coherently explained all of my different skills, like the HIP blog, the Witivio internship that I'm doing. I explained all of my own stuff like YouTube and my travel blog. I explained my freelance copywriting. I explained my education and how I'm creative and how Paris is inspiring and that's why I'm here, blah blah. I think I really sold myself this time, and how I'm all this work that I do, every single project I just mentioned to you, how that's all done by myself. It's all intrinsic motivation. I'm ready to work. I just need a company that wants to help me do it. The guys seem to really like me. You know, I want to smile, never hurts on interviews. I'm trying not to get my hopes up, because you know, that's what the first job that I was gonna move here said to me. He's like, oh yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. And then like, here I was a year and a half trying to wait for visa sponsorship. That just never happened. We shall see. All I know is I'd be the happiest girl in the world if it actually would happen. It would be right in the clutch, because my visa needs to be renewed or change of status by April 21st. It is March 30th. So I'm gonna eat dinner. My camera battery's dying, and should be interesting by the end of the week what they say. So hungry, I'm ready to eat. And then I have a bunch of miscellaneous stuff to do before attempting to call a friend in the US. It's Friday. Obviously the apartment's all clean. I'm gonna make rainbow veggie sandwiches. I've seen them on YouTube for like 3.5 years by Caitlin Shoemaker. They're not gonna like taste amazing, but they're gonna look pretty, and we're gonna try and manifest the better weather, because you know, today's April and it's literally been snowing. It's been snowing in Paris today. Okay, I want to close this without breaking a nail. Can I do that? And the answer is yes. I just washed these pajamas again, and I washed my robe thinking, because it's April 1st, that I could put it away clean, but you know what? It's like 30 degrees outside, so wearing the robe. I've had a very chill day. Class was just online. I have some things to tell you guys about that will be very interesting how they evolve. You're gonna, if you make it this far in the vlog, it's gonna, if you've been making it this far in my journey, shit's about to get very interesting. I have a lot to tell you. I need water before I chat with you. Hold on. I don't have friends, I have you too. Anyways, I think I told you guys earlier in this vlog, so I found a CDD job that wants to sponsor me, or that may sponsor me, I don't know yet. I sent them a letter explaining all of the predicaments and the scenarios. This is actually so interesting. If you've been following my story the past years, you have to sit and listen now, because I'm going to tell you, it's very interesting now what's happening. So, Greenly. There's this company here that's a environmental startup in Paris that wants a US copywriter full-time, but it's CDD. If you're unfamiliar with France, CDD means Contrat de Duration Déterminé, and what I was supposed to have, if you've been following my journey on the job I was going to move here like 2 years ago that didn't end up working out, was CDI, or CDI, Contrat de Duration Indéterminé. So one of them is indeterminate, which means it's permanent. It's a lot harder to fire someone on that kind of visa, someone on that kind of job. You get the employment benefits, and it's like, if you've seen Emily in Paris, it is really hard to fire someone on a CDI. So it's really expensive to hire someone for a CDI, let alone a foreigner on a CDI. Then there's a CDD where you don't need to be sponsored, but to work full time, I can't without the proper visa. So it would be part-time and start full-time in June. I would be juggling quite a lot until then, but honestly, like, it doesn't get dark till 9 o'clock at night, so I'd be willing to kill myself for like 2 months if it meant that I could finally get what I want. And after that interview I had a second interview with this place, I just screamed, jumped up and down, like thinking of the prospect of finally getting what I've been wanting for like 2-3 years now. Like, I know it doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but once I have a full-time job here, I will be so content and happy. Like, and I'm already so content and happy. Just, I really do love it here. Like, I'm staring at the baguette that I bought that I really didn't need to buy because I bought a bunch of other food, but I just wanted it because I can have it, and I'm gonna eat some of it after I do this vlog here. But we're at this weird point where my visa, like, I have one thing left to do for my visa renewal application. I was already submitting it to renew for the student visa with the French language courses, and I'm in this frame period where it has to be renewed in the next 2 weeks. Like, I have to submit it before I go to the US. I leave for the US 3 weeks from today to go do my fingerprinting again, which I have to go do the fingerprinting again for the Portuguese passport because the lawyer officially sent me the tracking number today, which is like so exciting. It makes it real for me. Like, I'm gonna get that passport. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be okay. Something that's so frustrating, which I may have already told you guys, is that before, if I had this job offer like 4 months ago, the lawyer could have expedited the process. Now they're like not accepting expedited processes that much anymore. But still, if they give me an official offer on Tuesday, I'm still gonna go to my lawyer. Here's this job offer. Can you get me this passport quicker? That would obviously be the most wonderful scenario, but if you've been watching my life, you see that my life doesn't really work out that way. If it works out that way, that I end up having the passport like at the end of summer, everything that I will have been through will have been worth it for that exact moment. But I'm not gonna think like that. Wow, but God, wouldn't that be nice? I don't like Lisbon, but I would take a trip there, go back to the hostel I was there. The hostel I was there was actually the best hostel I've ever been in. I wasn't a fan of Lisbon, the city, but I'll go there, I'll get my EU passport, you're damn right I will. But we're in this predicament where they're not gonna go through the thing to sponsor it in the next 2 weeks because it's so much harder to change your status in France if it's not in the 2 to 3 months before your current resident permit expires. And I don't feel comfortable having, if they only sponsor it and they give me 6 months, I don't wanna be put in the position where I finally got a work visa, I got what I want, but it's not permanent and they decide to not renew it, and then I'm in this awful position where I don't want to get kicked out of France because I no longer have the correct visas to stay. So that makes me, my friend on the phone just now, she was like, oh, that's not even an option to me, don't do that. And I'm like, yeah. So what I'm thinking is to go ahead with my plan. I've used none of my student hours because everything's been a stage or freelancing or unpaid internships, so I haven't gone through any of the legal hours that I can work here as a student, to just start working for them full-time in the summer on my student visa. If they get to the fall, you know, in the meantime, see if the Portuguese passport can expedite it. I doubt it, but we pray to the universe because I would deserve, honestly, like, I deserve it. I would really, maybe it will happen because I deserve it. Oh my God, it's too much information. Even for my own brain, it's my own life. Yeah, is to go ahead and renew the student visa just as I had planned to do that. But another thing that I was thinking about is like, so I applied to this master's program that I don't want to do. I got into it and it would give me APS afterwards, which is basically a 1-year residence permit that then lets you change to any status you want. Professionnel libéral, passport talent, working visa, like a salary, a job, a you know, traditional job. And the only reason I would do that, if I'm being honest, is the comfort of having the APS in the event something were to go wrong with the Portuguese passport. But if I do the master's, the only reason I would do it, because I don't want to do any more school. I don't want to ask my, you know, I don't want to be in a situation where I still need a lot of help financially. I really want to be able to do this on my own. I don't want to do more school. The truth is, the only reason I would do the master's is for the APS. But if I do the master's, that gives me a student visa till September 2023 and then APS till September 2024. By that point, I hold the Portuguese passport, to which getting the APS, which would be the only reason I do the master's program, kind of a moot point. And that's what one of my best friends said to me on the phone just now. She's like, don't do it if you're gonna have the Portuguese passport by then. If you want to do the master's degree to make your job prospects better or have a better chance there because you have a French university on there, then go for it. But this is the American University of Paris. Like, right now, it seems that my problem is I'm finally getting what I need with jobs, but it's the visa issue. So it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I still wish the internship that I was doing would give me a full-time job, but I don't think they're going to. I don't know. The next couple months of my life are gonna be interesting. I definitely finally feel a lot more better, and I know like things are progressing, you know, and I'm not just like stuck here on this student visa that's not helping me get anywhere. Like, if I feel like things are finally happening now, and I feel so good that I feel like things are finally actually happening now. Like, my little brother is 20. He just booked a flight to come here for 2.5 weeks. He's never been here before, so we're gonna like go to Brussels for the day probably. I want to go to the Swiss Alps with him. He loves nature and hiking. He lives in Oregon, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. My mom will probably come again at the end of July or something. One of my friends from college is gonna come for a couple days in August. I have 2 friends from high school. One's coming in June, one's coming in July. Those aren't staying with me, but it seems like things are finally turning around. I don't really know exactly 100% what's happening, but it's gonna be really interesting. So like and subscribe to know what's going on in my life, because literally when this is all done, I'm gonna write a book. So you want to move to France as an American? Bon chance. And it's gonna be turned into a movie, because my life should be a movie, honestly, with all the things that have happened. But it's like 5:30 now. I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat dinner now because I'm 83 years old on the inside. Like, subscribe for more videos like these, and I will talk to you guys next week with what happens when I speak with HR. I told HR literally everything I just told you about. We could do this, I could renew my visa. Please accept that if I do this, I'm, you know, doing this with the confidence that you can help me change the visa later, that we could try and request expedited process through the Portuguese conservatorio, whatever. I told the HR lady literally everything I just told you, but in a nice, long, concise, thorough email. We speak Tuesday afternoon. I will talk to you then. For now, like, subscribe, catch up on all the other videos and content to learn about my life in Paris, and I'll talk to you and see you next time and soon. Bye.